Welcome to my figure painting method, part 1. Here I'm priming figures with black Vallejo surface primer with the airbrush. Have a little bit of airbrush thinner in there, a few drops. Mix it up. Right here I'm actually just touching up some ones I'd started previously. So I'm just kind of getting those little areas that I missed. So I get the whole thing primed in black. And the reason I do this is because I've seen other people do this, and the whole idea is you prime everything with black and then take like a light gray or even white and spray it from above as if it's the light. So the light hitting the raised areas is the lighter gray or white, and your shadows are the black, and the airbrush will nicely blend this so you have a pretty subtle blend. You have to be really careful not to overdo it. The very tops of their heads and their hats and whatnot and their hair is going to be pretty much the full color, but it's the shadows and folds of the clothing that you want to really bring out. So here I'm gonna do the light gray on this little guy. This is a kid figure with wearing a helmet and holding a hand grenade. He's gonna be part of the diorama called Ride the Tiger. And he'll be in the queue line to ride the tigers. So here I'm starting to spray the light gray. And on this one, I think I went a little too heavy. I'm going to probably redo it. But the figure in the back came out pretty good. The front's a little heavy on his chest. I think it was a little too much gray. So it's just trial and error with these things. You have to really start as light as you can. Once I did this guy, I went to my next ones that you see on the left there, and those came out a little bit better. Some of those were started previously. I had to touch up the black, and I'm going back and going to redo some of the light gray. See, the front's a little bit too light on the chest. Now the back looks great. You see how those areas underneath are darker. The lower portion, all the shadows underneath will be black. Now I'm going to do the light gray highlights. Each figure has a piece of paper clip that I snipped and super glued into the foot of each figure. I use a little pin vise drill, very small drill bit to drill into the foot of each figure. This helps to hold them onto the styrofoam, and later when I attach them to the diorama, I'll drill a hole for that too and super glue that down, and they won't come off. You can see here it's starting to take shape. The light gray highlights are starting to bring out all the raised detail and starts to create the highlights and the shadows from the black. And then later, what I'll do is when I do each color, I glaze the color with a little bit of matte medium so it's transparent. So the black and white shadow and highlights show through, which is an old art technique, glazing over an underpainting. It's almost like just using one color to create these different tones, but there'll also be a bit more done after that, which I'll have in a future video. Here you can see this figure really coming together. This process is pretty fast, and it brings out all the highlights really quickly. All the folds in the clothing are really standing out, and the recessed areas in shadow are dark as they should be. So once I go to glaze each color over this, it'll be less work. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more stuff.